Hello, welcome to my video presentation for my TCC Business Communication class. I'm going to explain how communication skills have helped me to solve problems and learn new things and build my career. When I started my job at Texas Health Resources, I did not know about an S-bar. The S-bar is a situation, background, assessment, and recommendation. So if you have an error with your manager or something like that, all you have to do is like a situation, background, assessment, and recommendation as well. So just like that, like here I am is the situation that I'm doing, and background is that I've been working all the time as well, and assessment would say, okay, well, that's what we need to do to help everybody else. And then recommendation would say, okay, I need to help everybody to call on the police or anything like that to help me, do these things as well. So anyway, it's pretty easy to do that. So basically, say that you're working on your computer and an error pops up, and you need to explain to your boss that this error pops up every day, and you need to explain to them why you need a new computer. So the situation would be every day I sit down at my computer and I log in and this error pops up, and here's the error. You might even take a screenshot and put it in the little situation bar on your S bar. And then the background, you could say, I've been working here for 9 years, and every time I come in, my computer works really well. After last week, it started erroring out and giving this error. And then you could move on to the assessment, and you would say, I'm not really sure what's going on, but IT did send me a message saying that they were going to apply some updates or something like that today. And when they apply those updates, all of a sudden this came up. So the recommendation in that case would be, I know I'm not an IT person, but I would recommend that they uninstall the updates or figure out what's causing the error, right? That's all you have to do. Submit it to your boss, and he reads it. It's a very clear situation, very clear background, very clear assessment, very clear recommendation. He can take that to his boss. He can take that to the department or team that sent out the update. He can explain to them what's going on. They have a very clear communication, and all you have to do is submit that in an S-bar. Anybody can do it, and it's a very easy thing to do. SBAR, situation, background, assessment, and recommendation. And that is one thing in my career that has really helped me out a great deal. Because if I ever run into a problem that I'm having a hard time explaining to my superiors, I can always write an S-bar, and it gives them very concise, clear communication that helps them understand what we're dealing with so that they can help us to solve those problems. But sometimes you have to take that S-bar and expand upon it and actually give a presentation in front of people. And if you're ever asked to do that, the second question that I'm going to talk about is how the main responsibilities of a communicator are delivered. And the number one responsibility of a communicator is that you're prepared. If you're not prepared, you're not going to be able to do your job very well. Number two, you have to be very organized. If you're not organized, you're not going to be able to communicate very well. The third thing is you have to be very, very clear in your communication. If you are hesitating, or if you're saying quite a bit, or if you're having trouble getting the words out, the audience is going to notice this. I've seen this very much in myself. I've tried to overcome these issues in myself to be more clear when I communicate, especially if I'm communicating to others. It's much easier to write down communication. It's much more difficult to actually present live communication and make it clear and concise. The other thing is a communicator is concise and punctual. They do not drone on. They do not continue to go too deep into things. They don't process things too much, kind of like what I'm doing right now, right? This is a good example of what not to do. So the other thing is a communicator is very ethical. When I talk about that, ethic refers to a set of principles for rules or conduct or correct conduct. If a communicator is not ethical, it's going to demean their abilities to be able to communicate. And the audience is going to lose, they're going to lose credibility with the audience. And the audience is going to have a hard time listening to what they have to say if they are not ethical in the way they communicate. Overall, basically, it's just practicing the golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. The ethical communicator is also egalitarian, which it comes from the root word equal. It means to be basic, to believe in equality. All communicators should believe in equality, and they should be very respectful as well. When you're communicating with people, don't use offensive words. And it depends on the audience, obviously, but a lot of times you need to be very careful in what you say and how you say it so that you don't offend a certain group of people. Ethical communicators are also very trustworthy, which means they are going to be trustworthy to be able to give the same communication time after time after time after time without deviating from that ethic basis that they have. So it's very important to be ethical in your communication. And really, all you have to do is follow the golden rule. When in doubt, basically, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. If you don't want that thing spoken to you, then you probably shouldn't speak to other people. That's basically it. I think that if we could all learn to communicate a little bit better, if we could learn to communicate a little bit more concise, and be able to submit things like SBARs, SBARs, to communicate with our business colleagues, we will have a much better and easier time communicating with them, and they will have a much better time respecting us as subordinates, and possibly even put you into a higher level position. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Take care.